Yes, we're live, guys. Yes, I'm here in spirit. Yes. So hello, everyone. It's me. It's me. I'm sorry. I'm Ray, and this is Michelle Languages, a very
Hi
famous
everyone.
language influencer. We do this every. Yeah. How much followers do you have now? Like 60K? Or like go fast?
No.
Anyway, we'll
Lower
see.
your expectations, right?
We're super excited to invite Michelle to it's mirrored. We're super invited to invite Michelle to the live stream today to Polyglots Talk. Michelle, can you introduce yourself and the languages that you study?
Sure. So hi everyone, my name is Michelle, and right now I am not anymore a language student. Woo! Well, this is a very stupid introduction, but I have been studying languages basically since I was a child, and I recently graduated from my master's degree in languages and cultures for communication. And so yeah, right now I'm just self-studying on my own, and I have been sharing my adventures with language learning online for 5 years now, and on my Instagram account, which is Michelle Languages. Also lots of different platforms because I really like to experiment with content creation and social media, and some stuff for next year really boiling. And I'm Italian, natively speaking, and I have learned English because now I use it every day. It's basically almost like a second language. Then Spanish, French, Japanese, German, and Korean. Ta-da!
Wow. So yes, today we don't have Anna. So usually the show is hosted by myself and Anna, but she's actually here. You just can't see her. She's in the background, being technical support and being the true host of Polyglot Talk as usual. And it's because Anna caught COVID again for the second time, and so she is down for the count at the moment. But if you missed Emma and you want her to feel better, you can leave some comments down below. No comments, chat messages like, oh, Anna, feel better. We love you. Have Anna in the chat. She can see you. So today will just be the two of us, but it's super exciting. Just to give you a little introduction to Polyglots Talk for anybody here who is new, Polyglots Talk is a little kind of live podcast that we do once a month, the first Saturday of every month, occasionally the second when it's inconvenient for the first. But the beginning of every month, we have this chat about languages, about mindsets, and how to approach learning different languages. And to introduce my languages, I speak Jamaican and English natively, so I'm one of those lucky ones. I think I am one of the only native speakers of English in the Gladly Go team. Me and one other person. So, we have this native speaker of English. But outside of that, I speak Japanese, Korean, Spanish, Mandarin, and Swedish. Yeah.
You lose the count of the languages that you know.
I always struggle. Every time someone asks me, I'm like,
Yes, I have to count them on my fingers, like.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, if you see me looking down, it's because I have your comments on my phone on my lap here. So.
And I have them on the iPad.
Amazing.
We're teaming up for like not looking at the camera.
Exactly. We see here, happy to everyone here. Maxis, Lexi, Emily, Jazz, Noemi, Angela, Federica, Korea. Thanks for tuning in and saying hello. And let's see, we have some love for Anna. Yes, amazing.
Yay!
Drinking game. Take a shot every time Riz says comments instead of chats. Listen, I do this every time. I do this every time. Oh my god. Okay. Can you tell I'm YouTube OG?
Uh-oh.
Oh my god. Okay, so what is today's topic? We are going to be talking about how to challenge yourself. We just finished the Real Language Challenge, which, if you're
Mhm.
familiar with, is a 5-day little short and sweet challenge that encourages you to interact with native resources more and to study with things that might scare you a little bit, like studying with a song, studying with news, and etc. And we do it almost once a quarter. It's not, we try to bring it up and spice things because we know that a lot of these challenges, they tend to be 30 days, 60 days, 100 days. It
Yeah.
can be hard if you want to join into. Yeah. As well as we are planning one more challenge for the end of the year, which is going to be the 12 days of language journaling. And so it's the 12 days of Christmas, except each day we're going to give you a journaling prompt, for you to interact and do some output in your language. You can choose either to make it a writing prompt like journal, or you can choose to make it a speaking prompt like mini videos. So yeah, so we want to talk about healthy mindsets towards challenging yourself, how you can challenge yourself in your language. And so if you have any questions, you can leave them in the chat below.
I saw you preparing like yeah.
mental
It was coming.
mental gears turning. Oh my god. Yeah. So Michelle, you also host quite a few challenges. What kind of challenges have you hosted in the past?
I was just I
On the
was
spot.
laughing. Like, well, I think that besides the usual, posting stuff, the only real challenge that I actually hosted and then I failed myself, but that's another story, and we can talk about it later, is the Turning Polyglot Challenge. I'm just going to catch up a little bit also with the post so I can talk about it a little bit better, because I have a memory, like a short-term memory failure, like Dory from Finding Nemo. I am literally Dory. So basically, Turning Polyglot was a challenge that I started on June 1st, I think, of this year. I think it got a very good resonation, I think, and it was really simple because the general rules were 3, and I'm watching down on the post. Minimum of 30 minutes total daily studying, so just have at least 30 minutes of contact with the language. Watch a video in your target language in order to promote also immersion, which is also the main prompt of the Real Language Challenge that you hosted, guys, at the Global. And also write 2 sentences about your day in your target language. So it was a little bit of mix of studying, immersion, and also trying to output a little bit through journaling, because these are actually 3 pillars that I was actually thinking about integrating into my own routine. And actually they still are what I think I will need in my routine, and I'm trying to integrate right now that I have almost fully adapted to my new life, to my new schedule. But as I said before, I feel myself this challenge, but because I noticed that it was the perfect challenge for me and for the audience, but it wasn't the perfect time for me to do that. So that's the thing. You have to be in the mental space and in a lifetime space, to try something like that. And especially if you're not in the mental one, you're going to fail. But it's also this kind of challenges, even when you fail them, you are technically, you do not fail them, because at least you try to understand if what the challenge was revolving around works for you as well for your language learning journey. So there's still a possibility to grow. Sorry, my English today is terrible.
Well,
um there's still there's still a chance to grow and to get to know you as a language learner better. So yeah, I think that was the turning polyglot leg one. um Really taught me more than language approach. It was
right.
more of a life lesson to me, for example.
I personally, I'm the kind of person, I mean, I have ADHD, so I barely have any time resonance. So it's like, I'll be like, yes, okay, 5 days. And then I'll blink, blink, blink. And it's been like 10 days. And I'm like, and you're like, oh, I forgot to do this and that. Or you get busy with a lot of things. And depending on who you are, it can be really difficult to stay consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like when you do challenges, the real aim, there's two things that you should be really paying attention to. One, it's that you're choosing a challenge that is, I always talk about the Goldilocks rule, which means not too much, not too little, just right. And so if the thing is too easy, then you won't be interested. And actually, they always say, or by research proves that you're more likely to give up, you're more likely to stop doing something if you're bored than you
Mm-hmm.
to give up because it's too difficult. Actually, if it's too difficult, maybe you keep pushing it off, right? You keep procrastinating if it's too difficult. But if it's
Yeah, exactly. Because there's the challenge, but maybe it's not enough, or maybe we see as too overwhelming. But it's
Mhm.
also difficult to find, the middle ground sometimes, especially when you are in a time that you don't even know if something might work for you or not. So really depends a lot also on your mental state. And I learned that the hard way. Don't
Mm.
do like
Yeah, I totally get it. So for me, something when I give myself challenges, I usually like to give myself space. So, the thing that I like, you have to know what it is that turns you off and turns you on. Everybody is
Mhm.
different. So learn what is it, what is your bottleneck? What forces you to like what makes you want to give up? So for me, it's almost always something to do with consistency. Like break up if I miss one day, I'm like, I'm a failure, time to stop because I missed one day. It's almost always about this. And so I try very hard not to put that expectation on myself at all and say, okay, if it
Mhm.
7 days to do it, then I still did the challenge instead of 5, for example. um or I would say to myself, okay, if I get like, as long as I do even part of it. So, for example, there was the whole 365 days of reading in Korean challenge in 2020, I think. And I think out of 365, I concluded maybe 150 or something like that, which I'm
Mhm.
already extremely proud of myself for. I cannot believe that I read 150 articles. That's 150 more articles than I would have if I didn't do the challenge, right? But yeah, so I missed a lot of days, and there would be like a week where I didn't want to read at all, and I was okay with that. I went into the challenge knowing that that's not going to be my form of success. That's not going to be my version of
Mhm.
success, and I'm okay with that. And when you do that, you can actually focus in on the value that you get from the challenge, and the challenge that is more suitable to you, without putting unrealistic expectations on yourself and trying to
Mhm.
not. mm, I feel.
Yeah, I highly agree with what you say because I saw lots of videos and posts about those 365 books, but for Japanese, when there are articles for children and stuff like that. And I saw a lot of people accomplishing basically everything. Maybe they skipped a day or two, but then they caught up with that, and so it's a lot. It's a lot. And personally speaking, for me, I have the same problem. I have problems with keeping up with consistency, And I am not diagnosed with ADHD, but I wouldn't surprised if sooner or later I would be. But because I see that I have lots of motivation. My motivation tends to be really high. The thing is that I get caught up with things in life too quickly, too often, and my brain just receives like lots of different, inputs, like boop, 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 and then I completely forget about the stuff. And I think like, okay, maybe I can. Okay, it's like the process for me is more like, even if I skip a day, it's okay because it must be easy, it's life and stuff like that. But then it keeps happening because life is full of unexpected events that come up. So I usually then give up because I'm like, okay, now it's impossible to catch up. It's better to give up. So yeah, that's it. And but yeah, I highly resonate with what you said about trying to and already be proud of what you did, especially when you know yourself and you know that you struggle with that. Already seeing like a big number coming up, even though it's not the final goal, that is a lot. That is actually a lot.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that you should think, what is the goal to accomplishing or to joining a challenge? Is your goal to show that you can be consistent? Maybe that's what you want. And if that's the case, you can focus on this aspect. Something else that I sometimes do is to be like, okay, even if I just study one word, I'll consider it studying for that day, so that I can feel, okay, I'm building some kind of habits. Maybe that's your goal for joining a challenge. Now, maybe that's not your goal. Maybe your goal is more simply like, I want to improve my writing, or I want to improve my speaking. And if that's the goal, then you should focus in on that aspect, the value of the time that you put in. So if you still put in a lot of time, if you can ignore the other aspects and allow yourself to really practice and jump in when you do jump in, then actually at the end you'll find that you still achieved your goal of improving your speaking, right? Or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, totally agree. Fact, this is something that I still haven't shared, but for 2023 and for the years beyond, I actually bought a 5-year planner, a Hobonichi 5-year planner, and I'm actually planning to write even just a few lines about my days or my thoughts, both in Japanese and Korean. Even though my skills are really baby in Korean and I struggle a lot with writing in general, I want to accomplish that because I think, first of all, it's going to be really nice to have memories. And then, given the fact that you have a page for every single day, for example, 1st of January 1st, but for a line for 2022, then 2023, 24, no, sorry, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27. 2022 is leaving right now. Where did it go? So I think it's going to be nice, and I'm motivated to do that. And even if I'm gonna skip a day, or maybe I just try to write what I remember from the day, or maybe add something more with the other. I just want to take it real easy, but I want to see, and I have this goal in mind to see myself 5 years from now rereading it from page 1 to end, so from January 1st through December 31st, and watching how I improved and watching my progress. So this image already in creating even just a sort of expectation can actually help you with accomplishing the goals. But at the same time, do not let this image be your obsession. If it happens, life happens. You have to also have some sort of mindset also to not feel too overwhelmed by the challenges. And I'm already starting with the mindset of like, maybe I don't want to write every day. So maybe I can just write down notes and maybe I can articulate a sentence later about that. So really taking it chill. Take it chill.
I mean, I don't have a big 5-year planner, but I have started doing this thing. And just as a tip, like how I stay consistent but not consistent, because I have been trying to journal since I was like 6 years old. I should probably make a video about this one day, but the idea of journaling is so attractive to me. It's extremely attractive to me. And you start a journal and you do it for 3 days and then you don't look at it again. And then you come back and you do it for another 3 days and then you don't look at it again. Or you start the year over and you're like, okay, this year I'm going to journal, right?
Are you
And
talking
then
about
as a
yourself or are you talking about me? Because I feel personally attacked.
you know, and so like, and as a language learner it adds an extra layer because you know, you want to practice, you want to, you know, get into it. And so anyway, what I've started to do is I have a digital journal, and what I do, I have two things. The first, of course, again, the expectation: if I miss a day, I miss a day. But if I feel like journaling, I come back to it. I don't punish myself for missing a day, because that's what happens. You do it for 3 days and then you miss a week or two, and then you come back and you're like, it's ruined now. I have to wait until next year or next month or next quarter or something like that. And you know, you ruin the momentum and you never actually end up getting the habit. But so that's the first thing, is to let go of that expectation. But the second thing that I do is I just drop in photos sometimes. So if I don't have the energy to write, or I just say to myself, okay, I'm gonna drop in a digital, like a photo that I took today, because something consistent for me is that I always take pictures. I always take Instagram stories. I always take a picture of what I'm doing. So I always have a photo of that day that represents that day for me. So what I do is I just drop the photo in, and then if I want to come back later, then I have something that already prompts me to remember what happened on that day. So I go back in and fill in what I forgot. So for example, this first week in November, I still haven't written anything, but I dropped in a bunch of pictures. So maybe at some point I'll come back in and write more. But on a good week, sometimes I let myself write a lot, you know. So it depends, you know, and I allow myself to know that some days I have a lot of energy and a lot of damn things to say. And I'm like, journal, you go and catch these words today. You go catch them. I'll go and have lots to say. And then on other days, I have like zero energy and I would like to write 3 words. And I want to acknowledge that when I journal. I'm gonna take a minute to read the comments here.
Yeah.
Right?
Because I was actually watching them as well, and also I was watching on the big screen, like what your diary, your digital diary, and I was like, 可愛いじゃん.
And Kai-kun sent us another tip. Oh my gosh, if you guys don't know, Kai is my boyfriend down there showing off. Thank you. If you know, this new tip function of YouTube is super interesting. It kind of like Twitch now. So yeah, all the money that you donate goes towards the community and the improvement of the community. I see a lot of people down here actually already subscribers or members. So you can either support by sending a tip here in chat, or you can support by becoming a patron on Coffee for as little as $3. Yes, and you can join us on Sundays for accountability meetings.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yeah. And let me tell you, Gladly Global Community, and I told that in Italian, but just living, you know, food for thought with my comment, with my real gesture like comment. Think about that. Think about joining the Discord group. I told you.
Yeah, the coolest group on the internet.
I can't confirm that was Italian language 100%. Sorry, just
thank you, Anna.
I'm a ghost in the stream. Sorry.
A wild.
Have a comment. This is really Italian of me, but you, Anna, you look like the narratore onnisciente dei Promessi Sposi. She's basically like, you know, the narrator. Of the stories that basically sees over everything and already knows what is gonna happen, and it's typical of of a class.
This is unlawful, though.
Yep.
It's like
Can confirm.
this is amazing. This is
Okay.
amazing.
I go back to the shadows now.
All right, Mish, do you want to start to read some comments?
Yeah, sure. Okay, probably. Shall we start from the beginning, or I don't know? Really.
Yeah, actually, I think we start from. I asked, have you guys done challenges before?
Oh yeah. Okay. So Lexi said the last 5-day challenge. I wanted to do it, and then 5 days were over. Oh yeah. Okay, probably related to the one that you guys prepare, and it's okay. But maybe you know what? Even if you don't do that on lively with other people, you can do that on your own and still share it on the Discord group, because a lot of people actually are really supportive over there, and I think people will still appreciate your effort. And take the prompts also for do things on your own. You don't have to do the challenge while people are doing that at the same time. You can just take inspiration and or maybe adapt them to your current study plan. So it's okay, even if you don't do that with the other people. You're
Of
still,
course.
because you're doing that. You're the one who is there studying, not the others. So
Yeah, of course, it can feel nice to have other people studying alongside you, but you can totally do it anytime you want to. I've had people message me weeks later, even months later, and be like, is this challenge still available? And I'm like, hey, if you tag us, I'll repost it.
yeah.
Yeah. And Jazz says, I think the GG challenges are the only ones I've actually tried, and I've really enjoyed the real language challenge, so I would love to try another. So we'll be back again in this month. I'm already drafting up all the different posts to share. So 12 days of prompts. I'm really excited to share this Christmas spirit with you and learn some languages. Yeah.
Yeah. And E-Hawk Rivera, I did some of the 5-day challenge. Very fun, but it competes with work in grad school, which don't involve language. It's okay. I have been there for the past 5 years. So I know what you mean, and consider this based on my experience. Languages will always be there, especially if you consider them as your comfort zone. So even if you put a break on them, they will be there for a lifetime. Unfortunately, work and grad school are the priority for many people who are into languages. Therefore, focus on that, because those are the things that help you with surviving life. I have to be honest. I have to be harshly honest, because I haven't been harshly honest with myself in the past, and I wanted to burn out like multiple times. And therefore, consider that languages are not a race. They're a lifelong growth journey for yourself. So they will always be there. Don't force yourself to do something when you're out of energies. Maybe you can try later in the future when you feel like you are in the place to do that, but do not put too many expectations on yourself. As Ray said, that if I learned something from Ray during this 5-year relationship, basically it's this: take your expectation, throw them out of your window.
Don't expect, just enjoy. And the best way to keep motivation is to keep looking forward. Every moment that you grab it, you can utilize it and enjoy it much more. You can be much more energetic as you are challenging yourself. You can run even faster on the days that you're ready. If you don't hamper yourself with expectations, it's just not worth it. You can systems versus goals, right? So be in the moment, appreciate the moment and the process of doing it, rather than the goal of hitting something and showing something to someone. Let's see. Yes. This name is written in Italian, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know who it is. But...
Yeah. It's just that I have problems with memory. Ida?
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, exactly. It's Ida, but I can't read it. How do I pronounce this name?
Like you read it. Lingue nuvolose.
Lingue,
Lingue
nuvol,
nuvolose.
lingue nuvolose.
That's good. Sounds good. So, kind of sounds like 𝕤𝕣𝕣 when you're nuvolose. That is Danish.
Oh my! It sounded Danish.
𝕤𝕣𝕣.
Yes, for sure. Doing part of a challenge is still something. When I started journaling, I thought future me will be happy for anything I do manage to write. It's no big deal if it's not every day.
Yeah.
That's right. Put it on a t-shirt. Okay, should I try to read this other Italian too? Are you ready?
Go, Ray.
Tuo livello di inglese è molto impressionante, Michelle. Does it sound good? How do you sound?
Let me ask you for the citizenship. Hello. You, Sergio. Was that you? Yeah. I want to give the citizenship to my friends. Okay, bye.
Yes.
And I called our president of Repubblica. It's Mattarella-san.
See, if it's written, I can I can pretty much understand it because it's similar to Spanish, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
And thank you very much, Timothy. By the way, I still stumble upon myself a lot, but you know, this is a mindset that I've been adopting for languages like Spanish and English, and because I'm pretty advanced in those two, but I will make mistakes because I keep making mistakes even in my Italian, and my boyfriend corrects me a lot of the time, even for my Italian. But first of all, managing 7 languages in your brain is really hard. Second of all, the important thing is to get your point across. If people can understand you, even though nothing, well, the sentence is 100% correct, is not 100% correct. If they got the point across, that's what matters. Nah?
Yeah, and then I think once you got the vibe, meaning you have this flow, you can talk with a native speaker, like Michelle really has that, then because I think we've talked about this in other polyglot talks. We have a whole playlist, by the way. So if you're curious to hear more about this, I'm pretty sure, I'm 100% sure I've talked about this before. But essentially, this flow is like the most important thing. So we think a lot about vocabulary, I mean, which is also important, grammar, which is also important. But the number one is definitely having this natural flow where, I mean, like, I don't know how to explain it, but there are just things that you say in English, like casual English, not textbook English, not news.
Yeah.
There's things and ways that I say things that kind of would make non-native speakers or less advanced speakers go, eh? Just and once you can get that vibe and you can follow along with the jokes and the punches, you're fluent in English. You get a fluent in English card. I don't know. That's how it works.
Like citizenship before, like, hey, they must have a car. They can get the car.
Prince, no. Yes. I'm also seeing, let's see. Yes.
Jazz's comment is the best. Being consistently inconsistent is still being consistent.
Yes, because Anna quoted me, "How to stay consistent by not being consistent." Ray, that's a YouTube video title, is it not? Yes. Oh my god. Let's see. Ehawk says, "I have one notebook that I use for everything, and might be nice to add in journaling languages." Yes, essentially, my dad is my journal for my book for everything.
The iPad, okay, but now I'm getting triggered by the fact that you have everything in one notebook. Don't you separate grammar, vocabulary, everything so neatly perfect, like separated? Because I would get crazy if everything's like mashed together, like in a commonplace notebook, and I'm like, no. And
I know.
That's why I probably think I have ADHD.
I'm tempted too, but I travel too much. So actually, I have like some piles of books in the corner of my room here in Jamaica. I'm in Jamaica right now. And I think about it all the time. I love them so much. Whenever I come home, I'm like, oh yes, my books. And I still have a few books at home in Sweden too. But I had to stop buying books and notebooks and stuff like that because I travel too much. And
Mm.
so I forced myself to get used to the iPad, and I will say that it was not immediate. I think it took me at least a year or two to really feel comfortable with the iPad, and now it's my bosom friend.
But
We are we
on the iPad,
are going at
everything's so manageable that you can, oh, I realize maybe this might be better to be in a vocabulary notebook section, and you can just copy paste and organize everything perfectly. But in a physical notebook, everything meshed together, and you cannot change the position of stuff. That will make me feel crazy. In fact, I have lots of notebooks because I think I'm in the process of I got an iPad and I would like to have everything digitally to have it forever and go paperless, but I still can't, and I feel so dumb when I use the iPad, because I try, but on paper at the moment works better, but I really have to push myself through it. I'm gonna challenge myself with that.
challenge, cohesion,
Yeah,
change.
have to go paperless because I want to, and I bought an iPad Pro for that.
Yeah. It really does take some extra effort, and I think it's a combination of really nice templates and I always do a really big deep dive at the end of the year, and I go through every Korean and Japanese creator that does digital journaling, and I steal all of their free resources. And yeah, so
I'm waiting for a message
it's
with all your references.
all right, I'm gonna make a blog post with that for sure. But yes, it totally takes a little bit of effort. I'm gonna take this moment, a short pause, just to say, because I saw a notification from Instagram. If you're watching this at home and you want to share us on social media, we're gonna pause and take a picture. So we're gonna pause now. Ready, Michelle?
Yeah.
Take the picture and put it on social media and tell them that you spent your Saturday with Gladly Global.
I'm Ray, they're Ray, and I'm Michelle, and we're here together, doing the fusion, no, this way. Ray, let's do, the fusion in Dragon Ball. It's Mira. It's the Jamaican connection.
Just. But it's weird, like you're getting confused.
Yeah. What?
I love it.
Oh, no, that's country.
Okay.
Yeah, Mirror. I watched 2 Dragon Ball with my dad when I was younger, actually. Oops.
Yes.
Let's go back to our chat. And not comments.
I'm lost.
The chat.
Not comments. Oh my god.
No, okay, I haven't. Yeah, he was saying somewhere between 𝕚𝕣𝕣 and a commonplace book. I'm actually elaborating stuff for the next few posts about organization and planning for polyglots and language learners, because another a really huge pet peeve of mine is planning, agenda, notion, organization, and I think a problem of many polyglots is the organization system. They get too overwhelmed, or maybe they don't have any, and I'm creating stuff. So your comment is really interesting because it resonates with what I have in my mind.
Yes. I also see Lexi will be doing the 𝕎𝕖𝕣𝕣 exam. Hi team.
I didn't catch what you said.
Oh, Lexi is gonna be doing the 𝕎𝕖𝕣𝕣 exam, right? Yes, for Korean. So 파이팅! 잘할 수 있어. 파이팅!
파이팅!
Yeah. Good. Let's see. Ehawk said, "Thank you so much, Michelle and Ray. The idea of finding the pieces that are fun and still practice is great. Show scenes, for example, is a great relief when I'm busy." Yeah, I always like I'm very consistent of listening to podcasts in the shower. This is like my one thing. If I miss something, I always listen to podcasts in the shower. That's my fallback.
Hmm.
Yes. Let's see. When I have ADHD and when I had separate books, I misplace a book and not use it. It's a myth.
Oh, that's interesting to know. Really
Yeah.
have to check out, because yeah, a lot of things make sense with ADHD sometimes, or maybe autism, or maybe nothing. Maybe it's just my weird personality. But it's not because I have to join the trend, but it's more because I want to know how I work, and you know, uh, understand if there's like a better way that can work for me. So it's more getting to know about myself, and how I can be more myself, and that's it. So because I know,
Yeah.
weird noises. Oh, it's a
Good to check.
thunderstorm. Great. it was like
Sure.
I'm like, oh no, it's rain. It's pour. It's really literally pouring cats and dogs. But yeah.
Let's see. Lexi also said, a question. Do you mix the entries in your journal page, or do you have separate pages for each language? I love my iPad so much. So for me, I do have separate language books for my just for when I feel like looking at everything, or I'm doing a little bit more of a serious grammar lesson or something. But for journaling specifically, I mix them because I really do it based on my feeling. My current target language is Mandarin, my main target language. So when I have the extra feeling, I write in Mandarin when I'm ready. If I'm really tired and I just have something I want to say to my journal, I use English, my native language. And when I'm tired, as in I don't want to break out my phone to research the Chinese characters that I don't know how to write, then I write in Korean because there's no Chinese characters. Essentially, that's been my workflow recently. So on any given page, I will try to find an example to show you, because I have a week spread. On any given page, you can see Korean, Japanese, Chinese, like this. Yeah, so you will have each style there: Korean, Japanese, Chinese, blah blah, and English as well. And I basically do it by my feeling, because again, my goal is actually to encourage myself to be more consistent over time and not rushed. And so as a result, I am writing in whatever language I feel like, because it's also good for 유지하다, 유지하다. How do I say 유지하다? Wait. Good for maintaining
I wanted to help you,
that
but I'm not really at that level yet with Korean.
Yes. So yeah, that's what I got. So we're actually closing in on the end of the live stream. If you have any last minute fire questions or things you'd like to say to us, especially to Michelle,
Just
our special guest,
in the chat. And yeah, thank you, Ehawk. I'll check out Obsidian. I've heard of it but never approached it, and I just freaking love exploring new stuff. So
you do. You're on every social media platform, even platforms I've never heard of. Oh my god.
Yeah, even indie ones. But because really, for me, is so cool exploring, different communities, or maybe finding people who are into our communities, but maybe they're not on Instagram or stuff like that. So, and I really like exploring new ways of connecting with people. And I really have to thank language learning for that, because if I weren't interested in that, probably I would have never found a way to also explore new things, meet new people, and stuff like that. So I have the I have to say that languages help, like Lindy once said, languages help me with my shyness and being insecure, and I feel better even though I'm still an introvert. I think that I'm not as introvert as I used to be, or at least I can approach things in a different way. So that's why also I want to experiment with social media, because using languages is a way to, meet new people, meet new natives of your language or your target languages, or maybe natives of other languages that are interested in yours, and you can create beautiful friendships. Like, for example, our.
Exactly. Michelle and I met on Instagram a while ago, a long time ago now.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, I see a lot of people, especially when we do the challenges, we usually say, yeah, tag someone to do it along with. And a lot of people say, oh, I don't have any friends who are into languages, which always surprises me, because I'm like, guys, if you're on language Twitter, if you're on language gram, if you're in the server, make some friends. We are here to do
Exactly.
right? It's always so much more fun. Yeah.
Oh, we have a question, right? For a language you feel fairly strong with, how do you plan out timing activities compared to a shiny new language where the jumps in skill are more easy? Would you like to go first?
Oh, wait.
Oh, if you need time to elaborate, I can go, because it's based on.
Wait. You go first.
Okay.
The brain is loading. You go first.
No, don't worry. Well, I'm speaking from my personal experience, because right now I am advanced in Spanish, but I don't want to give it up as a target language, because I think I still need a lot to work on, especially because I haven't touched it for 5 years, actively speaking. So sometimes my conjugation and my subjuntivo is not the best, but so right now I'm not planning out that much, but because I'm still figuring out stuff in my life, and therefore I approach every single study session like spontaneously. So I feel like I want to do this. But for languages that I feel fairly strong, I mainly and almost exclusively rely on immersion, and I usually do what I would do in Italian or in English in Spanish. For example, very, very stupid thing, but is helping me a lot. I'm into true crime, low stuff like that, and I still haven't found true crime, or at least I haven't researched any true crime YouTubers or maybe Twitch people in Spanish yet. But I found, and I came across it while swiping and just doing stuff on Facebook, a random video of a TV show that is called Caso Cerrado. It basically airs it's trash TV, okay? It's trash TV. But there are Latinas and Latinos that are in court expressing their situation to this judge, who's also the host of this TV show. And it's just so trash. The situations are so unbelievable at times. And it's all in Spanish, even though they run it in Miami. There are people from all over Latin America, and therefore you also get used to different accents, and it's helping me a lot with my Spanish. So when you have a language that is fairly strong, associate with something that you already do in English or in your native language, and do the effort to switch the language. Just that. Because at least you're maintaining, maybe you get to encounter new slang, like I'm doing, or revising, and you keep yourself immersed in the language. And then I just grabbed the textbook, or maybe the course for the shiny new language, or maybe the one that I know that I want to work on, and therefore I balance stuff on my own. But I make what might be difficult for the resources aspect, or maybe boring because you think, I really understand everything, I keep it entertaining. And for example, Japanese, I'm intermediate level and I still need a lot to work on. But for me, there's nothing better than just shouting out in my crappy Japanese, or even in my crappy Korean songs aloud, like at karaoke. You will always find me at karaoke. And the great thing is to really associate languages. So something that you have to learn, or you feel like sometimes it's duty, even though it shouldn't. But sometimes it feels like, with something that will make you happy, like another hobby of yours. So that's what I usually do with my fairly strong languages. I
Yes,
talk too much.
that was really. No, it's okay. That was super comprehensive and great. I was actually just in Miami like a week ago, and can I tell you that everybody is speaking Spanish in Miami? If you didn't know, Miami is like, I think more people speak Spanish than English, honestly.
Yeah, I
And
know.
I was so jealous. I was like, oh, I want to speak fluent Spanish again, because I understand Spanish quite well, but I stutter a lot now because I never speak it. So I need to like jumpstart Spanish again. But yeah, like for example, we went to a store and none of the people who worked there spoke English, and a lot of the times they will tell you, "Oh, no English." Like this, even though it's America, majority of like Miami, nobody speaks English. I'm telling you.
No, no,
So,
no.
and like they were telling us something, like some rule, and they were talking to my grandmother, and I understood, and my grandma was like, sorry, don't speak Spanish, and I was like, oh, and I translated for her, and then I was like, no, pero like nosotros tenemos una especial like
Yeah.
situación con, and then I was like, and I like spoke, but I was like, they, of course, they understood me, but I'm telling you, like, it's not on the tip of my tongue anymore. I was so sad. Anyway, so I need to do that. I have ambitions to at some point go to Spain for like 3 months and just like get Spanish back like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to.
Personally
speaking,
I hope you can hear me.
I brought Spanish
Okay.
here, so did the opposite thing, because now I have friends from Latin America, and now Spain as well, because I mainly speak Castilian Spanish, and just consume stuff in Spanish. I basically brought the Spanish at home. So yeah.
Yeah. I would also say, like, for maintaining my natural languages as well, again, like I just like the journaling, for example, when I want to say something, it's quite easy for me to write in Korean, for example, what I want to say for a short journal entry. But like Michelle said, essentially you want to start dividing up your normal content consumption with your languages. So like if you usually read the news, then you should read the news in one of those languages. Or if you usually watch TikTok, then you should watch some TikToks in those languages instead, and start to make it a normal part of your routine. So the whole idea is that you stop studying and you start living that language. And that's essentially the maintenance, and you actually improve a lot without even realizing it. Yeah, so I definitely highly recommend that. Like, you should follow a few people, for example, or even create separate accounts for like, if depending on how serious you want to maintain or how much you want to like limit your English time. Because like for me, it's so difficult as a native English speaker. I'm always like, oh, I don't want to speak English. It's such a waste of time. But everyone is speaking English. Everything is in English. So hard to avoid, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm guilty of that because I'm Italian, but I just do everything in English. Sorry.
Exactly.
Oops.
All right, so that's it for today's Polyglots talk, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. It was so fun catching up with you. We had a really live chat today, especially, Emily, Ehawk, Lexi, and you,
Lexi.
Yes. Next, everything. Yeah, thank you so much for showing up today. It means a lot. Our next Polyglots talk is going to be in January, as usual, is every month. So look out for the announcement from us, as well as I already invited a guest. So that means we'll have another interesting conversation. If you have a suggestion for what we should talk about next, how about you leave a chat message below. I'm struggling. I'm struggling. Or you can, tag us in the server later, and I would love to know what you think. We'll probably be talking something about goals, most likely. But yes, and I hope you have a great day. Don't forget that if you want to join our exclusive accountability group. So we meet every single Sunday and we talk about our languages and we motivate each other and we have so much fun. Then you can join now. It used to be $30 a month. Now any Patreon tier is allowed to join the accountability group. So you should head over to our coffee page and check out if that's something that interests you. Otherwise, we'll see you for the 12 Days of Christmas challenge. We're also gonna have a community party day sometime in December. We're gonna have a community party day, and there's going to be a prize of some teacher credits as well. I haven't sorted everything out, but let me just tell you that December is gonna be lit. So,
Real lit.
Turn on notifications on Instagram, turn on notifications on Twitter. We'll see you in Discord, and I love you guys. Bye.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you
Thank you
for
so
coming.
No, it was actually so much fun. Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
We're trusting Ghost Anna to turn us off now.
Anna, do your work as a narrator omnisciente, please.
I did. No worries. So we're here. Thank you, guys. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.